What's up, my fellow boxer chats?
Welcome to Chadderbox. I'm Becca. This is Kyla. For new listeners, if you don't know what Chadderbox is, the name says it all.
Yeah, we need somewhere where we can talk about shit that no one else in our lives may not want to listen to.
We have a lot to say. And we especially have a lot to say today because have you ever messed with something that you shouldn't? Maybe like your ex's DMs or worse, a Ouija board?
Or did you call to a demon? Were you in the house and did you say, like, ooh, not tea? Like some shit like that. That you summon, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's Halloween, so that's the time to do it. Tonight or today, because it's the daytime for us, we're going to be diving headfirst into the spooky side of our curiosity. We're going to be talking about cursed objects, haunted relics, and Ouija board stories from Reddit. So, going to make you think twice before thrifting anything or taking anything from another location that you probably shouldn't. You especially don't want to take something that is going to maybe lead to somebody else's unfinished business, putting a curse on you. We're going to be talking about infamous stuff that is fucking bizarre, all the way to just strange energies that can cling to you. So light a candle, lock your doors, maybe say a prayer, get on your knees if you need to, because this episode of Chatterbox might be summoning more than just laughs. I'm actually going to be going to a cathedral after this just for a little bit. Why? Maybe it's because I'm going to be a naughty nun for Halloween, but regardless.
Do not go into a cathedral.
I am going into a cathedral after this.
For what?
I'm just going to go sit in there and journal.
The cathedral, because we're going to go to a Masonic Lodge-themed EDM show. Made me think about it.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that it was there, but I'm down to go.
But you'll have good vibes with me.
Yes, I get a girls' trip.
Me
It's
and
like
Nikki.
exactly what I need is a girls' trip, dude.
And you can finally get to know each other. All of my, like people I'm very comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very comfortable with Ariana. Very comfortable with Unique. I'm very comfortable with people. Like, they're my friends. I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I'm very comfortable with them.
Well, good. Yeah.
So, you'll like them.
It'll all
You'll
work
like them.
out. Yeah.
You've never met either of them.
I don't think so. Unless Unique was at your Carabas birthday. I don't know if she was there or not.
I don't know, because she's been on, like, she's lived out of state for a while. So, okay. Yeah, then I don't think that's what I'm saying. So, it'll be good. It'll be a meeting.
Yay. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm down. I need to get out of here.
All right. We're going to be naughty nuns. That's also what made me think about it.
So, back to cursed objects. We are going to now segue into talking about the story of Annabelle, the doll that was not so innocent. So, it started out like most horror movies do, all with good intentions. In 1970, a young nursing student named Donna received a gift from her mother. It was a vintage Raggedy Ann doll from a secondhand shop. It was meant to be a sweet gesture, something decorative for the apartment and for her room, but Donna placed the doll on her bed and immediately something was off. And at first it was very subtle. Donna and her roommate Angie would come home to find the doll sitting in different positions. Sometimes its legs would be crossed, its head would be tilted. It started out very small and very easy details to dismiss, like, oh, okay,
No big deal.
maybe she's playing a joke on me or whatever. And, nothing wild at first. But soon, the changes started to become even bolder. The doll started to appear in entirely different rooms. Sometimes the doll would be standing upright. It would be leaning against a chair as if it was like waiting for them menacingly. And then came the notes. This is something that I actually didn't know. So tiny slips of parchment paper, though no such paper existed in the apartment from what the girls knew, was having little messages in it, such as help us or help Lou. Lou was a family friend that would often visit, and that friend was actually saying multiple times, that doll is evil. I have a bad feeling about this doll. Like, you need to get rid of that thing. He actually claimed that he had dreamed that the doll Annabelle was crawling up his body, trying to choke him. The morning after one such dream, Lou woke up to claw-like scratches on his chest. Those scratches vanished within 2 days, just as mysteriously as they appeared. When Donna decided that she had enough, she contacted a medium who told them that the doll was being manipulated by a spirit of some kind. And the medium did confirm that there was a young girl who died in the house. She was 7 years old, and her name was Annabelle Higgins. She died on the property before the apartment complex was built. The medium said the spirit was drawn to Donna's kindness and wanted to stay with her. Donna was moved with sympathy for this energy.
She had to have allowed the doll to, like, even though it wasn't said, at some point, she invited that energy to go into the doll.
No,
somehow.
She gave it permission.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, literally, I was about to say that. Yeah, she literally.
Really?
Yeah, so while the medium. Yeah, that was perfect timing.
Badass. Bitch, I always be doing that shit. And I'm like, where are my glasses?
We're on.
I can see shit.
Yeah, we're on the same wave. We're on the same wavelength. Also, I can't speak, so.
It's okay. I'm like, that's okay.
So as the medium was orchestrating this talk, Annabelle, Donna gave permission to the spirit and said, you can inhabit the doll to stay in the home. Just stay with me. Well, that was a fucking mistake. Because according to paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, the same couple that inspired the Conjuring films. So Ed and Lorraine Warren, they confirmed that the entity was not a child at all. It was actually something darker, something inhuman. Getting chills.
It was crazy that this is all based off a real story.
I know.
Because they literally use the same name in the movies. So you think it's one of those scary movies that are fake, but no, it's based off a real story.
And whether you believe in haunted objects or not, I think it's very telling that there's actual physical evidence recorded during this time, such as like people getting scratch marks on their chest and stuff. I don't know. There's people who are like super skeptical about this kind of stuff. I believe in the paranormal, so I believe 100%.
Basically, everything that's hard to believe, probably believe it.
It's either in our universe or it exists somewhere else. If you can imagine it, it probably exists.
I've seen it and it's not real. It probably is real. I've said that. I've heard you heard me say it in a lot of episodes. I say a lot. I stand by it.
She does say a lot.
I do.
She be saying.
A lot.
A lot. So, Ed and Lorraine Warren confirmed that this doll had a spirit that was not human, pretending to be the little girl Annabelle to earn their trust. The spirit cannot attach itself to you unless you invite it in. And Donna invited in the spirit. And the Warrens said the spirit did not just attach itself to the doll, but the spirit attached to Donna herself. And when the Warrens took Annabelle from the apartment, they claimed that multiple times on the way home, the car's brakes failed repeatedly during transport until Ed sprinkled holy water over the doll, prayed over the doll, and then they eventually sealed Annabelle in a glass case in an occult museum in Connecticut with handwriting saying, "Warning, positively do not open." And since then, visitors who have mocked or taunted the doll have allegedly faced accidents, deaths in the family, terrifying misfortunes shortly after leaving the museum. Even the caretaker once laughed at the stories, and this is a caretaker from the museum. Even the caretaker was laughing at these stories and reportedly died in a motorcycle accident hours later. So, Today, Annabelle has been auctioned off.
The comedy dude.
And didn't he die?
He's alive.
Okay.
He bought the whole place.
Oh my god. Oh, Matt Rife.
Did he get the Annabelle doll? And what happened with Matt Rife?
Something happened with Matt Rife?
Yeah, in August 2025, comedian Matt Rife and YouTuber Elton Cassie announced they had purchased the home and occult museum of paranormal investigator Ed and Lorraine Warren. It made him the legal guardian of the museum's contents.
That's incredible. That's dope. I love Matt Rife, although he does say some like really out-of-pocket shit that I'm just like, what the fuck? But that's what comedy is supposed to be, right? I guess. I don't know. Some people like it. I think
it says Rife became the doll's guardian just weeks after the sudden non-suspicious death of paranormal investigator Dan Rivera, who had been touring with the doll.
That's the guy. Okay, so it wasn't auctioned off to that guy, but he mysteriously died.
Non-suspicious death. Paranormal. I like how they put specifically non-suspicious. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you go to your win but non-suspicious death? Just put the death of paranormal investigator Dan Rivera.
Yeah, it's like damage control. The internet loves to do damage control, doesn't it?
Following his purchase, he received criticism and warnings from members of the paranormal community, including the Warren family's grandson and the psychic medium Matt Frazier. They expressed concerns that Rife's plan to turn the museum into an entertainment spectacle could antagonize a demonic spirit and put people in danger.
That's fucking interesting.
They said that his actions were a portrayal of everything his grandparents spent their life doing. So it's like that guy is, I guess, the grandson of Ed and Lorraine Warren that he like went over. He's been like, I guess, taking care of the museum.
That's so crazy. I heard that Matt Rife bought it during this research. That is like super interesting. But today, Annabelle, so I misspoke. I did know that the doll was touring, I guess, like with somebody, but I didn't know like that.
Why do you know?
No, but like that's like perfect. Like, so the doll is now in the possession of Matt Rife, to be clear. And today, Annabelle sits behind glass, a simple, smiling Raggedy Ann doll with button eyes. But according to those who have been near her, the glass isn't just for protection, it is a prison. So, just a quick follow-up though.
It's like in the glass, it can't fully affect you, but it can still do stuff.
Yeah.
It's so weird. How does it mimic? It's like a dimension to...
Most people can't see spirits, but some people can. I believe wholeheartedly that this has to do with another dimension that some people have more psychic ability access to than others, you know?
Yeah.
I have a few psychic abilities. I have been really tapping into them lately, but I can never know when it's going to happen. I'll be talking to someone, and in my head, it's like it comes to me. I'll be thinking about a color or trains or a schoolroom. It's the weirdest thing. And then I'll try to segue it into the conversation. This actually happened about a month and a half ago, maybe a month ago. Time just like goes really fast for me. I was talking to this girl whom I've never met, by the way. And I was at a bar. And as I'm talking to her, I literally just like keep thinking about trains. Like I keep thinking about trains and train rides. I'm like, why am I thinking about trains right now? So then I kind of like segue into the conversation. I go, have you ever been on a train before? And she was like, oh my God, I used to ride the subway with my grandma all the time. I used to live in New York and ride the subway with my grandma. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't like say anything about, you know, it was just super weird. And then I've been like talking to people and I'm thinking about a specific color or a food. It is so weird. I never know when it's going to happen because it doesn't happen all the time. And I also have premonitions. So I'll have dreams and then the dreams will eventually sometimes come true. So that has happened to me. I had 3 dreams. Just an example. I had 3 dreams that I was going to have a C-section. Very vivid dreams. Like I was experiencing the C-section in my dream. Like I woke up and I was like, oh my God, it's going to happen. I feel like my mind is preparing me. And then I had ended up having an emergency C-section. It's just like, okay. And it's happened to me multiple times where I have dreamed things over and over again and then it actually comes true. So I feel like I have some ability. But am I a medium? No. But I feel like some people are more in tune with it than others.
Small.
I'm a small medium. I'm a medium small.
Yeah, it's like, 'cause they're-
I am an extra large small medium. So, a quick follow-up to Donna. What happened to Donna after Annabelle? According to the Warrens' case files, once the doll was removed, almost all supernatural activity in the apartment stopped immediately. No more notes, no more weird movements of things, no more scratching. It's as if the entity had followed the doll, not the girls. But the part that convinced the Warrens that the spirit was attached to the object itself rather than possessing a person was after the case wrapped up, Donna reportedly moved away to a new house and returned to her nursing career. She refused all interviews for decades. Unlike other Warren cases, the woman behind the Annabelle story wanted to be completely private and their full names never publicly released. The Warrens have referred to them as Donna and Angie, perhaps to protect their identities. But there are rumors that, mostly passed down through investigators and old lecture recordings, that Donna did continue to experience for the rest of her life nightmares about the doll. She claimed that she would have intense dreams of Annabelle at times, not every night, but just at times. And the doll would be like staring at her menacingly. And that's just fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy how spirits can attach themselves to you. Speaking of, we're about to segue into another cursed object, but is also a game. And that game is the Ouija board. So now we're going to segue into some Ouija board stories from Reddit. So, we couldn't do an episode on cursed objects without talking about the ultimate bad idea.
Also, don't do it in a graveyard.
Oh, God, no.
I had a beautiful friend who did it once.
And
Other people said that they're still vulnerable.
are they okay?
I guess, but they swear there's
There's an energy that's attached.
Yeah, they said that there's I think they had a name for the person or it was a man or a woman or something.
I'm going to be going to a cathedral after this because I'm going to need cleansing, so.
Look at my thighs. Thick. But
Dude.
wiggly.
Dude, when I was rock
We gotta
climbing,
push it out and flex.
dude, when I was rock climbing yesterday, I was shocked at how strong I've gotten. I was climbing up these walls. I couldn't do the ones that were like this, climbing underneath, but the other ones, I loved the ones that there was ledges. You have to climb the walls sideways. It's like you're walking forward instead of climbing up. You're walking sideways up. That was my favorite one.
I think it's fun.
I'm going to another rock climbing place next week because that was such a good workout. Whole body. I felt the adrenaline rush. It was just fucking amazing. I need to do that more. Plus, they paid for my ticket and I already made money. So it's I'm already going to have some extra cash to go do it. I'm going to be going to one in Sharonville that has 20-foot wells. It's only $17. You should come with me. They're going to go Sunday night or Monday night.
Show.
I thought in the autumn it would slow down, but time has just sped up even more than during the summer. So it's lovely.
Yeah. Very great.
Every single horror movie starts with, let's just see what happens. And it never ends well. So, of course, I did what any sane person would do. And I started reading these stories at 2 a.m, both last night and the night before, because I have been having some insomnia fits lately. Here are some of the wildest Ouija board stories that people have ever actually shared from the corners of the internet of Reddit. Talking about creepy coincidences all the way until stuff that makes your skin crawl. So let's get into it. I do want to try to read their usernames. First person comes from Yeezy and the Pussycats. Pussy with a Z. They say, my mom and her 3 friends were playing, and it spelled out 4 till no more. They didn't think anything of it. Then, over the course of the next month, one of the friend's brothers suddenly passed away. The second friend's dad passed away suddenly. And my mom and the 4th friend were in a deadly car accident where the driver, who was their close friend, did not survive. And afterwards, she had severe night terrors of mostly a dark, evil figure. And my great-grandma had to do some cleansing on her to get them to subside. My mom still has scars on her hand from the accident and night terrors every once in a while to this day. It took literal years to get her to finally tell my sister and I the story. We were told never to play with them, nor have we ever wanted to.
Seems like it's impossible, but that's just real.
Oh, yeah.
The hell?
This next one comes from, I am a stay-at-home dad. Not me, but my mom and dad. My brother is 7 years older than me, and the story goes like this. My parents rented a house that my mom's aunt and uncle owned in the late 70s. The aunt committed suicide in the early 60s in the back bedroom of the top floor. Shortly after my brother was born, they decided to use a Ouija board to try to contact her aunt. After a few questions, they asked a question that prompted the board to respond with, Moo J. My brother's name, Jason, who goes by Jay, they later moved his crib into their room. A few days later, a massive storm caused a tree to crash through my brother's bedroom window, and it landed right where the crib would have been.
Oh, wow.
I have chills all over my body right now. It's not always bad, but the fact that it warned them. Like, I'm literally getting chills. Oh my God. I read last night and the night before it. I still get chills over this story. As a parent, I can't even imagine. If it says to move my son, I would be freaking out.
It's like that's a chance you're taking. It's like, are you going to get help or are you not going to get help?
Yeah, like you don't know if this spirit is being, what is it? What's the word?
Malicious?
Yeah, that's the word. I was thinking,
That's my word.
I thought about malevolent, but I was like, that is not the word. Malicious, delicious, malicious. So, this one does not have a
It
name.
said delete it.
By deleted. My sister and I once decided to make one out of paper and try it in the hallway of our apartment. We never thought in a million years that this would actually yield any results. But as soon as we wrote hello and asked a question, all of the lights in the hallway of the apartment started flickering. We got so scared that we ran inside our apartment and burned the piece of paper in the shower tub. Yeah. This one really did it for me. When I was about 12 years old, a group of friends and I decided to give it a go with the old Ouija board. We weren't getting anything out of the board, and none of us were taking the experience very seriously. So out of ignorance and pure gall of my stupid 12-year-old self, I sarcastically uttered, all right, if this shit is so real, tell me what's going to happen to me later this evening. Out of nowhere, the board concisively tells me that I'm going to be hit by a green van. Unnerved, I called bullshit and brushed it off. The board goes quiet again. So we wrap up, say goodbye, and by this time, it's nearing around 9:30. So I let my friends know I'm going to go back home before my dad beats my ass. So I decided to begin the 4-block walk back to my spot. And on the way back, I walked through a large park with a clear view, a whole way that was adjacent to the road. It's quiet, no traffic in sight. As I am about to walk across the street to a back lane that takes me straight to my house, I shit you not, I swear to fuck, this green van fucking spawns out of nowhere and spanks my shit. I ran over, but that motherfucker gave me a nice nudge and I moved forward. And it didn't stop me, but that was some of the weirdest shit that ever happened to me. Never touching a Ouija board again. And then the next comment is, the Ouija board, if the Ouija board said, "I told you so."
It's like one of those like gifs. It's like, and this, that one that Kevin knew. He fucked up.
It did. He knew he fucked up. This one is actually from Australia, which I thought was very interesting. By full circle 75, I was a teenager living in rural South Australia, and my mom was into it, and we did it twice with a friend of hers. The first time, my grandpa, who had passed away 6 years earlier, allegedly came through and told her words to the effect that he forgave her for how angry she used to get when she would make silly mistakes when driving. And the second time, someone came through and told us that there were babies burned in the front yard under where the mum was growing roses. Random and terrifying. Now, the actual babies part we never confirmed, but my mom went to the council and found out the old house that we had lived in was actually a district hospital during the early parts of the 20th century up until the end of World War I. And that included recorded births occurring here. So it did present the possibility of stillborn babies being burned, whether outside or in an incinerator. Never had any ghostly or freaky experiences other than that, though. And for the record, I don't believe in Ouija boards connecting us to other spirits. The first experience was probably subconscious cathartic for my mom, but the second one, I have no idea. That's fucking insane.
Weird.
Yeah.
Creepy.
This one's a short one. By Jazz Rams. We stupidly asked which one of us in the group was going to die first. It spelled out my cousin's best friend's name, Danny. Danny. Not even 2 weeks later, Danny was killed and decapitated in a horrible car accident. Edit. I tried to find some article that was talking about the accident. This happened back in 2002, 2003. I'm from my hometown of Las Vegas, New Mexico. And I was... Yeah, in his hometown of Las Vegas, New Mexico. I was 12 at the time. My cousin and Danny were about 16. Unfortunately, I'm not finding anything. I can't even find his obituary. I have two more. By my mom. She told me some weird things with it, and the part that really stood out was what happened when she got rid of it. They first tried to burn it outside in the family fire pit. When they went back to check on it, it was actually sitting on the bed. Later, they tried to burn it again, and it still stayed completely intact. I'm very open to these kinds of things, and I have non-existent trust for the Ouija board. Very interesting. I've heard that story before. People burning the board and then it's just like appearing back, like on the porch.
On your bed, though?
I mean, I've read a story. I don't have it on me. I don't keep that thing on me. But I know a story of somebody burning it or trying to throw it away, and then it ended up on their front porch again.
Where?
Last one by Lily Pad Hats.
Oh, God.
When I was 13, me and my two friends, Amy and Leah, used one. Amy's mom had passed away recently, so we asked to speak to her, and something came through and said that it was her mom. We started asking questions. We were getting really slow, weak answers, and suddenly the planchette started moving more and more forcefully and spelling out "fuck you" over and over and over again. Amy took her hand off the planchette and got very upset, thinking that one of us was messing with her. It wasn't me, and Leah swore that it wasn't her. We saw the perfect shadow silhouette of what looked like a man walking by. We were sitting on the floor in the hallway with no windows. There was absolutely no explanation for the shadow figure that we all saw. We started screaming and running like teenage girl theatrics ensued. And when I get scared, I still think about that. That makes my heart scared. It's like, fuck you over and over again. Like, feels like an angry person, angry spirit. That was very interesting.
I know.
I want to go down this rabbit hole even deeper. But enough of the midnight Reddit regrets. Kyla is about to take us even deeper into the cursed corner of the internet. If you thought the Ouija board was bad, wait until you hear what she found. We're talking about real nightmare fuel and objects that can ruin your lives. And I hope you've enjoyed talking about games that you should never play and stories that might make you sleep with the lights on. Kyla, what cursed object chaos are you bringing to the table?
Okay, so we're going to talk about Pele, which is the volcano goddess. I've talked about her before, actually, in one of our previous videos, because I was interested in it.
Yeah.
So you'll know about her. She's like basically a matriarch to them. But basically, I also said that you can't take lava rocks because it's not allowed. But there's also a reason behind it, a much darker, deeper reason. First, we're going to go into what is Pele's curse. The Hawaii Volcano National Park receives thousands of letters from tourists apologizing for taking lava rocks from the Hawaiian Islands. The letters are, in most cases, accompanied by the rocks they wish to return to end their streak of bad luck. If you're skeptical, this may seem like a joke. You may believe that people are making up stories to scare others into leaving freebies behind. But individuals who've been on the receiving end of Pele's curse would beg to differ. So who is Pele and why should you be afraid? So she is the goddess of fire and volcano. Legend has it that she resided in the crater of the Kilauea in Hawaii, which is the modern day Volcano National Park, which I've been. So much y'all need to go. But don't take a fucking rock. Thank you.
Is it against the law?
Yes.
Interesting. I wonder if it's for this reason.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of entices. I've talked about this last in that one, but it's so funny. So it's believed that her wrath caused volcanic eruptions and lava flows. There's a lot of like stories about the Pele gods. Her visible power has resulted in the respect and worship among Hawaiian citizens. To date, residents leave gifts and fruits as a sign of respect for goddesses. They believe this act brings good luck. When I was hiking up there were flowers and fruits thrown out to the edge of the volcano. So people do it. So how can the curse come upon you? It is believed that the island's matriarch Pele is believed to be the island's matriarch. And through her protective nature that the curse is born, the goddess is believed to be incredibly protective of her land and children. Legend has it that Pele considers the lava rocks and sand as her children. So it is like a story. I feel like it's like a deep story.
Interesting.
So, therefore, anyone steals the rock or sand, they should expect Pele to exact her vengeance on them. Her anger, like the fury of a woman scorned, isn't child's play. We're not talking about breaking a fingernail or losing your favorite pair of socks here. Many people who reported this curse tell stories of serious calamities. The very help of me. From pets dying, which is the most common, to losing loved ones and relationships ending, you don't want to be on the receiving end of Pele's curse. So how can you rid yourself of the curse? Pele's curse can last for days, months, even years after you pick up the rock. It's believed that the only way to rid yourself of the curse is to give it back, the stolen item, to the land, where it came from. This explains why numerous tourists write letters to the national park begging the rangers to return the rocks on their behalf. Most people report that their streak of bad luck ended after returning the stolen items to the island in Pele. However, Hawaiian postmasters report that they receive all kinds of stuff in the mail. While the majority of people return Pele's hair and tears, the long strands of hardened larvae that form the rocks, some people send in items that are not from Hawaii. So, is it a myth? If you're not typically superstitious, isn't a myth or real wrath from the angered goddess? Like the majority of myths, the origin of Pele's curse or scandity. I guess park rangers might just say this so you don't take more. I feel like they might just be something to make you less likely to take from. the area, because the more you take from an area, it can change the way the landscape is. Over time, when you have thousands of people taking a rock, can you imagine how different it would look eventually?
Yeah.
It would change. I'm literally taking one. Everyone comes, thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, and Hawaii's at like a big surface area like Alaska is. Yeah, no, I understand. I actually love collecting rocks, but I will most definitely not be taking any of those.
The article I read is on the Hawaii guide, so it's easy to find. It's just very informative. Usually things on those websites are from the Hawaiians themselves or someone that's very informed. So
yeah, we'll be sourcing this in the description of the episode if you would like to read it for yourself.
So I also decided to do the Uluru curse in Australia. It's kind of actually similar. So let me just...
Is it Uluru?
Uluru. I don't know how to friggin' say. You want to help me? Wait, let me see it. Uluru.
Yeah, Uluru.
So it refers to a belief that taking rocks or sand from the sacred Uluru monolith in Australia brings bad luck. With many tourists experiencing misfortunes after the act, this phenomenon is officially recognized as a curse by the park authorities. People might think it came from rangers, the locals, to get people to not steal. The Anagu traditional owners believe there are consequences for disrespecting the land. There's people that believe in this curse. As a result, many tourists feel guilt and mail the stolen rocks back to the park. The string of bad luck that happened to people is car accident, illness, misfortunes. They usually send the rock back and apologize for it. There are consequences. You can literally face high penalty fine if you are found taking these things. Because these people truly believe that these things are sacred. I think that they're, even though people might say it's from the park rangers, I think that it's sacred to the land itself. So you shouldn't be taking from it.
When we were on our
$5,000.
That's fucking
Australian dollars you can get fined. I think the one in Hawaii is even more.
You know, when I went to Olympic National Park, I left with so many fucking rocks that literally I had a bag that was 22 pounds. It was a hiking bag completely filled with rocks. And when they were going through TSA and they were like, what the fuck is it? Is this rocks? I was like, yeah. They were like, oh my gosh. I love rock. I still have them. I still mess around with them occasionally. But by messing around with them, I just like kind of lay them out and touch them. I just like rocks, okay? I have issues. And to be quite honest, though, this makes me kind of skeptical about taking rocks. I need to research where I go and be like, should I take a rock?
You really should. I've been to a lot of places, though. Like, I've been to Bermuda, pink sand. I've been to Hawaii, black sand, green sand, lava. You go to the beach in Florida, you can take a rock, right? This has been going on for decades. Rocks phenomena. This apparently has been going on for decades. This is on Reddit, too. The cultural center has been completely overwhelmed with rock packages arriving. Both of them have this. That's why I picked them both, because they were oddly similar. I didn't know about the Australian one. I don't know if I would have known about the lava rock unless I would have been there. It's like something you never know unless you go or someone tells you, like us. Yeah. So, I'm just kidding. So it says the new route of shipping the rocks to the Australian Department. They ship the ones that people send it back. They send it somewhere to process these packages to make sure pathogens or invasive microbes are not present. Okay. But yeah, process sorry rocks back to the culture or send it to be placed on the base of the sacred rock. So I still want to go there. Huh. But it's just like that other story about did we talk about that on here? Or were we going to did I told you? No, I didn't talk about it. It was on Naked and Afraid. Okay. And it was in Australia, and it was this mythical. Remember how they came up on the nest I told you about? No,
but tell me this.
But like basically, somehow they came into contact and they told them that they should not be staying in that nest. Like it was a huge nest. Sorry, it's like the Australian version of a Bigfoot. Oh my god! The Australian version of a Bigfoot, but basically on Naked and Afraid, had stumbled upon one, and they had an expert that lives in Australia talk about it on the show and say that it's the Yowie. Very bad luck. Like, they're like, damn, we were just dancing in the thing and hanging out in it. The nest was huge. Look it up. Naked and Afraid nest. Yowie nest. Literally, no animal in Australia is capable of making that. If you look at like all the animals that are in Australia, the nest that was made, crazy. And the fact that it was just overlooked, they said don't even question it. Let it go, move on. That's basically what the Australian people did. You have to watch the episode.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it's basically like a huge shape. There's an article.
Oh shit.
So it looks like that. That's how big it is. And
like,
it's
massive.
non-normal size nest. It didn't have any type of feathers in it at all. So it couldn't have been a bird. No way is it a bird.
A fucking yowie dinosaur.
So on top of taking a rock and getting cursed, you also don't ever want to speak about this yowie. If you even come into the area of it, don't
speak its name into existence.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Oh,
what
shit.
the Australian guy was. He's like, don't blah, blah, blah. Don't tell the others. Because then everybody would be stupid around it. I feel like it would just cause a lot of issues.
You know, there's a guy, I just made friends with him. He used to be in the Air Force. He might watch this eventually, so hi, Nick, if you're watching. He basically told me that, like, he was in the military for like 20 years, and I guess something they're taught is about, like, it's not like they're talked about cryptids, but he was in the military where they would be in areas where they were said to be. And he said that there were people in higher ranks who said in multiple instances that this is not something the government wants to straight out say. Like, you can find this on like CIA documents. I don't know which experiment this was from, but basically the government has said that when you have a group of people, not just 10, not just 20, but thousands of people believing in a Bigfoot, believing that the Yowie exists, entities that live in these areas.
These creatures, I think they're all real.
They're saying that when you have enough people who believe in said cryptid, it manifests. It's the craziest thing. It's a phenomenon that some people, you know, like the Mothman. Some people have experienced the Mothman. Other people are like, I call bullshit. But that's because the people who are encompassed in the belief with the whole group of people, there's like 20,000, 30,000 people who really believe in this cryptid, especially when everyone's thinking about it at the same time. That's when the thing can manifest, apparently. That's what he told me at a bonfire a little over a month ago. But I was like, that's fucking insane. And he's like, I believe it 100%.
Not that you're making it true, that you're manifesting you seeing.
Yeah, either that
Maybe
or
that's what he meant. You talk about it, you want to see it, you think it's real, so your odds are more likely to see it than not.
Well, there's also people who don't believe in cryptids or Mothman and have had experiences they can't even fathom. There was one story, I don't have it on me, but I've heard it before. It was this guy who was driving down the highway in West Virginia, and he said that something the size of a man landed on the car and then just disappeared. It fell on the windshield and he was like, I just hit a guy.
Maybe something fell from another dimension.
But when he got out and looked around, like
maybe it fell through the portal.
His whole windshield shattered. But when he looked around, he could not find a single person. He was like, what the fuck? That thing looked like it had wings. It hit my car and rolled off the front. Couldn't find it.
Because you think about those movies where people are falling through portals, it's like he fell into that dimension and hit the car and then fell back into the other car.
Yeah, honestly, I fucking believe it. Like, I believe in cryptids. I believe in the paranormal. I believe in devils, angels, spirits. I think the unseen world is, I don't know. I feel like people are more skeptical about it because people want more scientific evidence. But I feel like you shouldn't just dog on something you don't understand. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it is not real. So,
or you cease to believe that things like that can happen, then that means you're one step closer to losing and they're gonna win. No matter whether it be this or something else, you just have to know that things are possible.
And you also have to be protective of your energy, because otherwise these spirits or entities can attach themselves to you.
Dude, even vampires, dude. I just watched that one movie where it was like, you gonna invite me in? You gonna invite me in?
Vampires like the government?
No.
There's vampires in the government, right?
Yeah, they take a lot. That's so sad. I'm going to the national park and the government shut down, so the visitor center will be closed. And the bathrooms will be closed, so we're going to be dealing with that. There we go.
Get a funnel.
Yeah.
Get one of those.
I said to get a shovel. I'm like, dude, no.
Oh,
I'm not doing that. That's what's wrong with people. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, guys. Kyla needs a shovel. Just like a little handheld one, though.
Oh,
Hey, what are you doing over there? Gardening? Yeah, sure, you can call it that. I'm gross. So, we really hope that you guys have enjoyed this spooky episode today. I actually really like this shit, for real. I really enjoyed this episode.
don't take a rock. That's the moral of that two stories.
Yeah. Don't take things from sacred land. Don't mess with dolls that have spirits, obviously. Well, don't mess with dolls, period. Just kidding. But also, probably shouldn't play the Ouija board.
Just be wary of what you say and do when it comes to those things.
So whether it's a doll with dead eyes, a game that opens doors you can't close, or maybe rocks that you probably shouldn't be taking home with you, maybe, just maybe, some things are better left untouched. We chase mysteries because we are curious. So tonight is your reminder that curiosity sometimes bites back, so do not go summoning.
It sounded funny. You said, do not go summoning. It sounded like you were just at like a like you sounded like a fucking preacher.
Do not go summoning. Do not go summoning.
That is probably so loud.
I know. You're gonna hear it from me first, bitch.
Wait.
So, thank you for returning to Chadderbox. This has been so much fun. It was very fun talking about cursed objects, creepy games, and we hope that in the meantime, tell your dog, tell your cat,
Tell your nieces or nephews, because maybe they won't remember it the next day.
or tell your friends or your enemies,
Or someone that you just met at the store or the restaurant.
or summon a demon and let them. I'm just.
No, but don't invite someone to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. With the Ouija board. It's Chadderbox